Hi guys, this is EBPMAN with Tablets for Me, and today we're going to do a review and follow-up of the new Jawbone Era from Jawbone. These are the things that you should know before you buy. Hey guys, so it's been about a week that I've been using the new Jawbone Era, and I thought I'd share with you my experience and what I thought of the actual headset and how it performed, in day-to-day use. So I thought the best way to do this is just to do it via Keynote and just show you what I thought were the pros and cons of the headset. Definitely one of the major pros of this headset is the size. It's incredibly small. It's under 2 inches, and it's something that most people don't even notice that you have a Bluetooth headset on because it's so small. So having a small headset is definitely a pro. It is one of the best ear gel implementations that I've ever experienced on the actual Jawbone line. So if I compare this to all the different Jawbone headsets and I think about all the ear gels that have come with it, this is the best one that they've made to date. It also has the best fit, and I separated that from the actual best ear gel because one thing is for this to rest nicely in your ear, but at the same time, one of the things that the older Jawbone suffered from was the fact that this little noise assassin nib that rested on your face would sometimes not rest on your face. It would come off, and because it was never touching your face, the quality of the phone call suffered. So with this specific ear gel and the way it fits in your ear, this nib is firmly touching your face, and I really never experienced it's falling off or it's separating from my face. The calls were crystal clear. Everybody commented that they felt that it was a very good headset because the fact that even walking, it never really came off. It has good noise cancellation. It's for the size. It's pretty amazing. I was at the gym. There was obviously people walking around. There was music in the club, and no one knew that I was in a gym. And they said they couldn't hear anything. I was outside in a public, noisy downtown street, and no one can hear the cars. So, and if there was a major truck passing by, it was very, very low, where no one could really tell that it was that there was something there, unless I actually told them to please listen for it, and could they tell? So it was very faint. So good noise cancellation, and it did seem like it was better than the previous version of the noise assassin. In my original video, I talked about that there was no mute function. Well, there was an update to the firmware, and I was able to, through the Jawbone website, to configure this multifunction button here, which is the one that you use to accept and drop a call. I've configured it now so that it serves the function of a mute. So you can actually press and hold, and it will mute your phone call. So that's a great thing that they have. Now, one of the things about the mute function that I'll warn you that if you do configure it is that the mute function notification is very low. So you have to press and hold, and then you'll get a little message that will say mute on. Well, the mute on is too low, and if you're in a noisy environment or there's a phone call or you're speaking to someone, you really have to pay attention to hear it. So I found myself double checking. I wasn't really sure, did I get the mute on or not? And when you press and hold, you'll hear mute off, but again, it's very light. So I wish that they would increase the volume on that so you could get some really good confirmation. You will hear also an audible reminder that you're on mute, but it's also very low. So you'll hear like a little beep that will happen. Now, from the con side, is because it's so small, you can lose it. Even if you put it in your briefcase or you put it in a backpack or you leave it on a desk, and like this one that's black, it kind of gets lost because it's black. So I'd say that's a con, that it's really easy to misplace. The ear gels, while it's the best ear gel for Jawbone, it does take some time to get used to because all they have is a small, medium, and large. And we have to face it, not everyone's ear is the same size, and you can't classify yourself as a small, medium, or large. So if you fall somewhere in between, like I do, so wasn't a small, because a small, it would fall out. I wasn't a large because it was too big, and the medium, while it really did feel better, I felt that I was experiencing ear fatigue because I was getting some pressure around here as it fit in my ear. Now, one of the things I'll tell you is that I did wear it around the house. I did use it when it was not being used for phone calls, just so that my ears would get used to it, and the fatigue did subside. So it did feel better, but it takes some time to get used to. Now, this is a killer for me. 4 hours or less of battery life. Now, I speak or I'm on conference calls quite often, and 4 hours is just not enough. A lot of the headphones out there that you hear, the earpieces like this, a little bit larger, but they're giving you 7 hours of battery life, and I did feel the difference. And while Jawbone does say that they have up to 10 hours of battery life, it's with the charging base. So you have to take it off your ear, you have to plug it in, you got to wait for it to charge, and then you use it. So it's not continuous 10 hours. So that 4 hours really kills me. And then the other thing that makes it really hard for me to say that this will be one of my favorite headphones or earphones for Bluetooth calls is the fact that the battery life is cut nearly in half when you listen to music or audiobooks. And this caught me completely by surprise. I was going into the office listening to an audiobook, and then I took a couple phone calls, and all of a sudden I got the message that I only had 15 minutes of battery life remaining. So when you listen to music or you listen to an audiobook, it's going to cut those 4 hours virtually in half, or if not less than that. So, that's also a con. So if you were to think about, well, why would I buy the new Jawbone Era? Well, it's really if you really want something tiny like this that has good noise cancellation, can't go wrong. But keep in mind that if you don't speak for several hours on the phone and you're not really using it for long conference calls or it's just for casual calls, it will be fine as long as you're not listening to audiobooks or listening to music. So it really defeats the purpose of having a Bluetooth headset that has A2DP that you can stream music to when it kills the battery to that level. So this is my review before you buy, things to consider for the new Jawbone Era. If you have any comments or questions, leave them on the YouTube channel. Thanks. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to share and subscribe.